What did a scam look like in the Victorian era? So, where are we, James?
We're at Ravenscar, Karen.
And this behind us here is all there is.
That and a lot of roads, sewers, drainage, and a station platform of a now disused railway.
It was originally called Peak.
That's more apt a name, really.
Yeah.
Quite high up.
It's quite high up. It's in between, actually, from Whitby and Scarborough. Robin Hood's Bay is a little bit further down there and you'll be able to see it. So what happened here in 1885 was this railway development here. Now it's overgrown and this line came between Whitby and Scarborough. So 1885 this line opens, the platform is developed. 1887 the name was actually changed to Ravenscar. And by 1911 the whole thing had fizzled out. So people did come here, nice view, and that's it. Developers came and saw this opportunity. They thought, right, we could have a rival town with Scarborough and Whitby. Now Saltburn is a very good example of a purpose-built Victorian seaside town. And if you want to see a good video about that, check Yorkshire's Finest Pair, because they've done a good video on that. So anyway, back to this now. The developers came here and saw this opportunity that could rival with those towns. They came in 1895. They were called the Ravenscar Estate Company. They started drawing up plans for this town. There were going to be shops, a church, a promenade, a tramline.
No doubt a pub or two, restaurants.
Yeah, restaurants, cafes, everything. All the Victorian dream at the time.
And just like Scarborough, Whitby and Saltburn, they wanted to develop the housing to turn into guest houses and hotels.
What we're going to do is we're going to show you the reason why it was a scam. We've done it before, but we didn't film it. So as we said, in 1895 when the Ravenscar Estate Company had formed, they'd drawn up the plans. The only buildings that were here were the few buildings in the square that was so-called to be the town centre, and the Ravenscar Hotel. It's a hotel now, but it was originally built in 1774 as a private home.
So we're now walking down to the water's edge. See what we find.
Back in the Victorian era, it would have been people coming from inner cities such as Leeds, Bradford, yep. Many of these people weren't really wealthy. So they bought this plot of land to build a house in supposedly a town that's going to be so close to the sea, rivalled with Scarborough, Whitby and Saltburn. Now what we've got over here is Robin Hood's Bay. You can just see in the distance there. Where is it? There. Now Robin Hood's Bay was around well before the Victorian era. So now what we're going to do is we're going to show you and prove to you why exactly this was a scam. Starting to open up now a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, getting a view of the beach.
Beautiful blue sea.
It's a bit steep, this track.
Certainly is.
I'll tell you what.
What's that?
Well,
Oh, blooming neck.
I wouldn't want to come down here with the grandchildren, with the grandkids. Imagine them coming down here with a bucket of spade in hand.
Yeah.
Not quite.
I think I'm going to have to hold on to this side here because I don't want to go falling over.
Oh, this is easier.
You've got a choice. You have a choice. It's this way as well.
It's the choice, but I'll have a look up here and see if this is the choice. If not, I'll come back. You can come this way.
Right.
Got a sweat on.
It's a warm day. About 30 degrees.
33 it said on the car just before we set off.
Right. Guys, this isn't for the faint-hearted, but it's not as bad as Goatfell. Goatfell was a real killer and it killed me. But this, it's gonna hurt coming back up. Now we see here, these drains are Victorian.
The Victorians believed that salt water was good for you, which is why the bathing fashion started really. Queen Victoria did it, and then everybody thought it must be good if Queen Victoria does it. And the bath taps in what became Ravenscar Hotel, there was actually 3 taps, hot, cold and salt water. So that's what they did.
Well, that's where you get your spa towns from. They came from the Victorian.
That's right.
They came from the Victorian era.
The Grand Hotel in Scarborough was the same. That had 3 taps.
Yeah, Harrogate is a spa town.
Yes, it is.
Is Scarborough?
Scarborough was
Yeah, well, it has a spa there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway.
Yeah, it's got a spa, a Morrison's, an Aldi.
There's some seals down there. I'm going to try and zoom in because
You can hear
it
them.
tells you up there, there's a sign saying that you're not to go close to them. I guess you don't want to ruin the habitat and scare them, do you? So I'm going to try and zoom in from here because...
You're not allowed to feed them.
Well, well, they could attack you.
They could. I was going to bring down a tin of sardines for them or a tin of pilchards or something.
Anyway, because when we get right down there, we won't be able to see them. And we're almost at the bottom.
Almost.
And this is what you get. You have got nothing more than rocks. A rocky shoreline. No sand. Nothing.
You've got some seals.
Well, yeah, you've got some seals. You can hear them in the background. But you've got no... I mean, do you know something? You know when you go to Seaside, you arrive, you go buy your bucket and spade, you find a place on the sand. But this, can you imagine, in the Victorian era, what were they wearing? They were wearing big dresses, long dresses.
Oh, blokes weren't.
Well, blokes were wearing suits, weren't they? They're nothing like what we wear, more practical stuff to manoeuvre in. And that is a 600-foot climb down a steep, rocky cliff. And at the time, there were plans to put in a funicular lift, just like they have at Scarborough and at Saltburn. They did drop plans to have that put in, but I'm not sure how that would have worked because it's probably quite unstable. Oh, this is a steep bit here, but they've put steps in. Oh.
Was that like an 80s or 90s band?
Steps?
Yeah, because it's a tragedy.
90s. But look at this. Looks like a moonscape a bit, apart from the grass.
And the wind and the atmosphere.
And the buttercups. And these flowers.
And the lack of the need for a spacesuit.
Right, I don't know, best way to get down here without going flying, because it's all slippy with all loose gravel in it.
Well, I tell you what, if you go flying, you could do like drone shots. Come on. I think the circuitous route would be.
Right, okay.
In other words, round about the houses, a bit like my dialogue, eh?
Exactly. Yeah, you know when loose gravel, it can be a bit slippy, can't it?
And it's bound to get in the sandals and
Yeah.
annoy you.
Ooh,
Oh, careful.
I like that. I don't know if you heard
Just
that.
like that. Just like that.
How did they get down?
Who? You can't really avoid this bit.
Well, I'm going to have to get on my... Oh, I don't know. Right, we'll catch you when we're down.
Not much of a beach, guys. It's just rock pools and sort of grey gravel. That's it. That's it.
That's it, that's your lot.
Yeah, that's the dream I've sold you. And if you look back, if you go straight up there, that is back to Ravenscar Hotel. And I suppose the plan was to put funicular in.
I did say that.
But imagine if it had broken down, you'd be scuppered, wouldn't you?
I think the map did actually draw a little yellow line where a
Did?
beach would be.
Yeah, and it showed at the top, it showed an esplanade, like a esplanade. It's like a lovely kind of crescent, and then the beach beyond.
Yeah.
But it didn't mention, obviously there was no contours on the map.
When people did come, must have come to realise that there's actually no beach. People pulled out, so the company didn't have as much funding, and the company folded up, and there were no compensation by then.
Mind you, now if I tell you what, if we were digging through some papers of my grandparents, if there was if they'd had one handed down and it existed, it'd be a great place to build a property, wouldn't it? Just stand alone.
Well, it would do now.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
Because you could drive to Scarborough. They couldn't do a lot back then, did they?
Well, they could have caught the train.
Well, yeah, they could have. Oh, yeah, they could have caught the train. So when did the trains stop? The beachings cut in 1965.
I think it was early 60s, but the line continued for a time after, just as a freight line. But
Right.
there's a story with the railway as well, actually. The gradient up to Ravenscar, particularly from the Whitby, Robin Hood's Bay end, is very steep. It's one in something or other, which is quite a challenge, and they had to take it like a run up at it, and they very often couldn't make it because of the ice and water, or rain and water on the line. The guy who owned Ravens Hall didn't want to have to look at those common trains, and so he insisted on them putting the track in a tunnel for no reason other than he didn't have to look at the trains. And that added, and I don't know what this is, we'll probably put it on down here somewhere, but it added £500 to the construction costs of the overall project, which is probably quite a lot of money then.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he did that. And that, because it forced it into the tunnel, actually made it worse and made it more likely for the trains to slip. But he didn't have to look at those common trains with that nasty smoke.
Well, we're going to have a little rest down here, drink some water, and then we're going to have to climb 600 feet back up there. It's water.
Bottle of gin?
It's water.
Oh. I think walking down that hill, bump, 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 hoping that wasn't the best of ideas.
I've earned it. Cheers. I guess we're just going to leave you guys here on the beach if you want. You can come back with us. So,
This might be the end.
don't say that. So, if you liked it, please subscribe, and we'll catch you in our next adventure, whatever it'll be.
You know, I never caught on in Victorian era, this place, down here.
Why?
No phone signal. How do they go? How do they go?